Hey everyone, Derpy here, back with another Battle Pirates video. This is the Cry Havoc TLC, Prize Packs 2, 3, and 4/Mastery. I'm starting off in Prize Pack 5 because, well, I already did Prize Packs 1 through 4. That's on the Prize Pack 1 video. They're the same exact ones for the other encounters. This is how these TLCs work. In this one, I actually have my 4th Warhound done, so I'm now only using 1 Breacher behind and then 4 Warhounds to go through everything. And a multitude of ships will work in this TLC, subjugators, basilisks. A lot of them are really good. Subjugators in particular can do a lot of this TLC. I've been seeing a lot of people posting in my comments about that kind of stuff, which is great, so keep that coming. I'm going to take my 4 Warhounds and kind of run through the main gates here and just move through things as quickly as I possibly can. The kill zone for this is split up in kind of 2. It's fairly small around the aisle here with these, I'm not quite sure, don't remember the name, these heavy turrets here aren't that big of a threat. And going through here, I'm just going to run through the gauntlet once and then that's it. I'm going to loop around and park myself in the middle of the base, and I'm not going to send my Breacher Dreadnaught in or any other 5th ship in to deal more damage because it would just end up getting hurt. Instead of stopping right here too, I could stop right here, kill the whole target, but I'm going to drive inside the middle of the base, inside the outpost, where I can use both my port and starboard rockets at the same time to kill more things, which will be better and the battle faster. And when I'm in here, I'm going to focus things that are actually dealing damage to me, like the Drac scattergun turrets. That just helps out a bit. I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit better, and sorry about the frame rate being kind of low. I have to play on Flash Player, which has lower frame rates per me because of a bug in HTML5, which won't let me drive only ships 1 through 4 at one time. Selecting not your whole fleet at once doesn't work in HTML5, so I have to use Flash for this. It's a pretty easy encounter here, nothing too bad to worry about. I'm showing you my Warhounds can do it, and most of us have Warhounds built at this point. So go ahead and leave a like on the video if this is helpful so far, getting to see some of these targets, getting to have me narrate them while I hit them. This is a pretty easy encounter specifically. It's much easier than encounter number 2. And by the way, I did get some tips to only use 1 ship in encounter number 2. Looks like the damage here is very low, only corrosive from those heavy turrets, and we're moving on right on to encounter number 6. This is the final encounter for Prize Pack 2. Instead of ending at 5, it ends at 6 for some reason. But going through here, even if it's not, you only have to deal with it 1 time for each run. And it's not in Prize Pack 1. So going through here, I'm going to have my Breacher on auto doing some damage, and then my 4 Warhounds driving stacked, and those are going through and clearing some things out. I have been told that my Warhound build might need some work and might need to be changed around to deal some more damage, so if you watch to the end and you have any suggestions for me, let me know in the comments. Going through here, I'm just going to try and focus what's dealing me most damage, which will end up being the Tempest launchers. I'm going to go ahead and sit in the kill zone because it's not a very high damage kill zone in this particular base, and I want to protect my Breacher behind so I can't move my Warhounds out of the way yet. Probably would be best if I just have all 5 ships stacked up and move them all the way around behind. As you can see, I'm going to target the Tempest launchers, and even though I have 47% evade on my Warhound, it's not quite good enough to prevent myself from taking damage and getting shockwaved by these Tempest launchers, if there are enough of them. So if you are in a situation where there's enough, like encounter number 2, splitting off just 1 ship will be helpful. Thanks to Damnation for that tip, by the way. And after these 2 Tempest launchers are dead, I'm going to focus things that are dealing damage to me, which is a lot of Drac scatterguns, and there is 1 Stormbringer missile, which I just targeted, that it has the heavy firing arc. And after that's down, I'm going to target the Drac scattergun 2s, and by the way, you can redeem 2 of those in Pillage right now if you have extra points, which is actually pretty good at some of these in larger numbers against these Warhounds. You can actually break deflection with those. Okay, looks like this encounter is about wrapped up, and that wasn't so bad, was it? The next one, encounter number 7, is going to be just a little bit worse, but let's check the damage that we're getting from this one and the damage type from this one first. Looks like it's a little mix of everything, with mostly corrosive, explosive, and radioactive. Encounter number 7 is the final one. This is just a little bit trickier, a little bit harder. Again, my Breacher is on auto in the back, and I'm going to run through with my 4 Warhounds. This encounter looks very similar to the last one, or a previous one rather, in terms of the channel layout, but it's a little bit different. All these bases are somewhat similar, and they all have a fairly good base design, although the bubble pad does need work on all of them. You can see it hasn't bubbled yet. And there is no guard fleet, which quite obviously makes this a much easier TLC with no guard fleet, although the guard that we currently have in game isn't that great. Drawing your attention back to this base encounter, you can see there's a lot of Tempest launchers doing some damage. I'm trying to keep my ships moving. I only have one split off ahead of everything else to take the damage. And so instead of getting the shockwaves, it's only on one ship. Everything else is going to rush through afterward. I would love to keep them a lot closer, but my tactical field resistance is not the same, so some are slower than others. But overall, it's going to be a little bit painful running through the channel. You can see my fleet's down to probably about half health, but it doesn't really matter because this is the last encounter. I'm just going to park everything to the right of this island here. It is tempting to park between the island and the channel, where I can use both my port and starboard rockets, but that's going to end up taking too much extra damage because the Tempest launchers are still in range there. Although where I've parked my fourth ship, my lead ship, you can see that I'm out of the firing arcs, so I'm okay for that. And because I'm out of the firing arcs, because I still have 3 minutes left, I'm going to target the accuracy-based weapons, or the weapons that don't have a heavy firing arc, rather, like the Drax Scattergun 2s and maybe the Glacial Launcher to kill those, with my concussive rockets, while I have my side rockets shoot through the walls and kill the island there. It's really about trying to maximize the damage you're doing in the amount of time while staying out of their fire fields. I will show you my build when this base is over, and like I said, if you have any tips on how to improve it, go ahead and let me know. That's why I always say that you shouldn't just blindly copy my build, because particularly with PvP, things might be off just a little bit. I am trying to get back into PvP a little bit more, so we might see some more videos like this in the future. There is one more TLC going on right now, Into the Breach. You can get some upgrade tokens and kits for your breachers if you are lower level and don't quite have 4 Warhounds. That might be what you want to do. I do have a video using bat rays and razor tails on my channel, although quite honestly, if you have riots, you should be able to do it fairly easily. So if you're lower level, you can hit that and get some upgrade tokens and kits for your breachers if you want to. Breachers are a fairly old hull now, and I'm really not using much of them, other than just the one occasional one as a support ship, although you'll see that it has died in this TLC already, this encounter already, while my Warhounds are still alive. As soon as that Tempest is dead, I'm going to move my ship around, use my sideways rockets to do just a little bit more damage, and that's will be the end of that encounter and the end of that TLC, encounter number 7. Damage taken is a lot higher, a lot of radioactive damage from those Tempest launchers. You can see here that my Warhounds are built the same, with a little bit difference of an armor, and some have different other armors than others, and ship number 3 is missing armors. The Breacher there is the standard build, and I went over that kind of slowly. You might have to rewind the video. Anyway, here's some tokens you get from Prize Pack 3, although Prize Pack 4, which is also known as Mastery, has some much better tokens in it down below. I'm going to go ahead and cut to an end screen now. If you did enjoy this video and it did help, like I said, leave a like, and if you want more Battle Pirates content, subscribe. There's 3 videos or 3 things you can click on screen there. As always, this is Derpy, signing out, helping you be a better pirate.